welcome back, I guess. Sorry for taking so long. I've just been a bit busy. Also, I needed to come to Singapore where the lock is installed to take it off and show you how to do it. I hope you enjoyed the unboxing as much as I did unboxing it per se. So it took me quite some time to put these things on the table. You see quite OCD, organized here and everything. I'll walk you through every single part of it because there are a few pieces and how everything is going to be used. Let me start with the door first. So I'm not going to show you how I drilled into the door because first of all I had no idea what I was doing. You'll see the door later on. It's pretty much like a piece of cheese. I've kind of been drilling in it heavily. But so this is version 2.0 of me installing it, and I put all the tools and everything that you need to drill. So if you manage to get one of these, well, I have no idea what it's called, but it's got this adjustable tip that can actually quite precisely drill into your door. I wouldn't recommend it. You really need to know what you're doing with it. If you buy one of these, well, I bought it on Taobao, so I paid around 150 Hong Kong dollars. That's around maybe 20 US dollars. It really did the trick for me. You can go deep. You can like just nicely drill into the door without destroying it. That being said, you can also use like a regular drill with this kind of bit. I again have no idea what it's called. It comes in different sizes, like the width here. And then I would recommend that you use this because if you look at it, when you're drilling sideways in the door, so this is for the mechanism, it can actually go really deep. And then you can choose the width that you want. I chose 20 because if you look at it, it's pretty decent. And then it gives you a bit of space. So when you're drilling in the hole, imagine the door, this is the door. Try to go a bit deeper than you actually need because this cable, as I was telling you last time, look, I kind of messed it up here. And then that's why I'll show you how to do it. So these are the tools that I used. Like I say, a screwdriver. I don't have that many tools here in Singapore, so I've just used an IKEA tool kit set. It's perfect, you don't need anything. And then this chisel. This is really good for precision, like kind of chipping away at the door. So this is just for the wood. Now I'll put all of these aside and then I'll start with the actual assembly of the lock. Given that you don't need it. Okay. So if you've seen in the pack earlier, there were a lot of screws and a lot of like parts and some tools and everything. You're wondering if you need to use them. Well, actually, no. All these tools are used, let's say, for the lock as anchorage. So let's say, for example, these specific screws. You can see they've got like a flat screw tip and everything. So you put it on the side here. This is sort of like guiding for the door. So it's just extra support. Depending on how thick your door is, you will select this screw or the thickness of the screw. So the point is that you put it in here, and when you put in the door all together, it will just go through the door. It doesn't have a connection on the other side. So you don't have to like plug it in on the other side. This is just so that it will stop where the door stops. And then it goes through this part here. So this, well, just 1 second. It goes in here. It goes in here, right? Well, technically it should be, no, sorry. Yes, this is the place where it goes. So this one, you will put it in here. Sorry, so don't put it in this one. This one is not really used, I think. I need to double check. So this goes in here. You can see that it fits in here. It's just so that you make sure that the mechanism and the door piece are aligned so that you don't go sideways. This is just a guiding thing. Okay, next one. So these ones we put aside. Then grab the bag. Yes. We don't need it anymore. I'll just put them all inside as we don't need them anymore. Okay. The next part is this kind of like piece that has like measuring on it. So I'll explain what this is actually for. So I've cut mine here. It comes with 2 parts, just in case you mess one up or you've got a really like thick door. So what you will do is when you put the door in, this comes in here, and then based on the thickness of the door and the mechanism, you will cut this to your side. So what I suggest is once you've done the holes in the door, put this in, measure, and then mark it, and then cut it to your specific size. So what I've done here is that this is the piece for my door. So these specific pieces, then you're going to see the thickness of my door. So the way that it works is I'll assemble it here on the table so that you can see exactly where each piece goes. So as I said, I'm going to take, this is extra, so I'll put it back in the bag. Then these ones, these screws, again, for guidance, this is actually, you see there's 2 bolts here. So you just screw them on. And again, you can select based on the thickness of your door. Just screw them on. And there's a right side up. So it doesn't have the same thickness. It's a different kind of screw. Once you put these there, they go like this, and like this. They connect like this, and that's it. So this is, just so that you understand, this is a very, very thick door. Again, I've selected mine here already, so I know exactly what I need to put. I'm not mixing it with the other ones, just so that I don't start from scratch pretty much. Okay, let me put them all back. Okay, this is also for guiding. And then these screws, these are the finishing screws. So you will have one long screw that goes for the mechanism. So when you put your lock, this cylinder, when you put it inside here, you will have a long one. Again, this is based on your door and everything. The one that I'm using for the cylinder is this one. So if you can see, is that it's quite unique in size. Actually, not really, there's 4 of them, but mine as well. And then that's one that you will use for that. And the other ones are for connectivity. So again, depending on how thick your door is, you will, you need to open the battery plates here. Okay. So here in the battery spot, there's 2 rubber Phillips screw kind of sign on it. You remove those, and then it gives you access to the screws. And also here, on the lower part of the inner lock, just pop this out, apply a bit of pressure. So you pop it out, it's got like some balls in there, it's like some cylinder balls, and then it just slides out. Again, another point. So this is where you will be anchoring the inside to the outside of the door. And again, based on the thickness of your door, you will find the screws that you need. These are the screws that I need. Okay. Also, this is a very important piece. I will show you in 1 second why you need it. So I'm putting these all away. Okay. I have no idea what this is for. I've never used it. Maybe. Oh yeah, I know what this is used for. Okay. So before you go anywhere, before we go any further, I guess. So this is the outside piece of the lock. You can see the door pad, the keypad here, the NFC reader, the fingerprint reader. So this will always go on the outside. When you have here, you'll see that there's a lot of Chinese writing here. It depends on how your door, if you pull the door to open it from the outside, or if you push the door, then you will need this one. So my door actually pulls open. So, sorry, it pushes open. So this one doesn't really matter on the outside for me because I will never touch it. Actually, I just realized that this is, oh, it's not set up, sorry. This is the new lock. Oh, I just forgot for a second. So I need to adjust it. So what will happen is, let's say for example, this is where you adjust it. So right now it's set up so that you pull the door to open it. Now, let's say for example, my door, I need to push to open. So I'll just unscrew the screw here. Very simple. Tight. Okay. Now you can see it's not, when I pull on it, nothing happens. You just push to open. So exactly the same thing. So you will need to do the opposite to this door. So this door has pull to open and push. It's set up to push to open right now. So that's fine. I just need to change the screw position here, just so that you understand what's happening. This is telling you, well, you shouldn't touch this. Yeah, I don't know what this is for, so don't touch it. If you need to translate it, but this is all you need to know, the lock. So now it's all set up. This is the lock mechanism, so you can't open it from inside. Maybe it's like a child-proof or something, so that you don't open it. Okay. So now let's say I'm on the inside of the door. I pull on the door, it's open. Okay. Now, let's start with the another point. Sorry, I keep on having a lot of important points. So, if you can see, there's an important message here. This is telling you that there's a screw inside. Let me see if I can. I'll use this. Maybe from the inside. So, I've already removed it, but I put the screw back in just so that I show you what's happening. So, on the inside, there's a screw here, and also on the other side also. So on both sides there's a screw. What that message is telling you is that this screw, you should unscrew the screw on the inside, on the outside of the door. So what that will say is that, let's say for example, my door looks like this. So the outside of the door is where you have your, what do you call it, the code panel, where you put in the code to come in, or the outside. So if you pull on this side, this is how my door pushes in like this. So this is the outside of the door. What you need to do is you need to remove the screw from the outside of the door. If you don't remove the screw, what happens is that, let's say you go in and install these things, you will be able to open the door from the inside, from the outside, without putting the fingerprint, without doing anything. That's what it's doing. So this mechanism is just so that you don't lock yourself out of the door. Just before you finish everything, make sure that you remove the screw. So the screw is simple to remove. Let's say I know that this is the outside of my door, this side. So what you do is you twist on any side. So usually twist you're on the outside. I can't stress this enough, because once you've removed the pin, you see, okay, let me show you what happens if you remove the pin. So right now, if I want to open the door, this is the inside of my door. Imagine this is the handle. The door opens, it's done. Right now, okay, the door is closed. This is the part where I remove the pin. Nothing happens. You can see I can twist it. So that's the whole point, so that you can't open it from the outside. And then only when the mechanism is activated, only when the message is sent from the unit saying that, okay, we've got an authentication, everything is valid, you can open the door, that's when you can access it. So just for the purpose of showing you exactly what's happening, so you twist it, and then use this small Allen key, and then you just twist that out. And that's it. Now your lock is ready to be put on the wall. So I actually struggled with this bit because nobody tells you what to do with this, and also I had no clue that you needed to remove that lock. So in the very beginning, it took me a couple of hours, and then I kept on opening the door, closing the door. I thought there was something that needed to be done from the mechanism itself. So I actually kind of opened this up. There's a seal here, if you can see. I kind of lost my warranty. If I have any problems with this and I want to take it back, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. But okay, next one. You see that there's this piece on the table. So actually this is quite a piece that I had CNC manufactured. So I've created the design of the door. So what's happening is my door, the mechanism that was there before had this like spacer in. So what I had to create the exact same thing, but for this lock. So I've got the design for this. This is 16 cm, and everything else fits in for the lock. So it depends on how thick you want it. I can send you the file. You can just chat me, and it's I made it in AutoCAD. I can give you the file, and you can just play with it and see what you want to do. It's fairly simple. It was around $15 US to make. The thickness of the walls is 15 cm, so it's quite 1.5 cm. I'm sorry, I was just told now. Yeah, I know I designed it and I forgot what sizes I made for it. But let me just show you what this is for, and you're going to see it later on the door and understand how this is going to help. So this is how it fits. Well, it should fit perfectly since it's up to the part. There you go. So the only problem that I needed to do afterwards is, if you see the corners here are kind of rounded off, while the initial bit is a perfect 90-degree angle. So I just needed to file away these corners, and if they fit perfectly in. So if you can see, it's just going to add some extra stability to the door and everything. Okay, you can cut now.